So I don't care who or what happened with the beef. I don't care that Tip Hayes and Caitlin Clark got into it. I don't care who started it. I actually don't care. What Tiffany Hayes has done the last 24 hours, you have to suspend her. You have to suspend her. And I'm being real here. They need to make an example of this because I'm sorry. Like, is it going to take a Monica Seles situation to happen before the WNBA steps in? This cannot be tolerated. It doesn't matter who this is. If Caitlin Clark did this about somebody else, I'd be calling for Caitlin Clark to get suspended. It doesn't have to be anything that affects the season. Suspend her early in the season. The Valks are going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter. And especially who she's playing in the next game. So, obviously, there have been threats of violence against Caitlin Clark on threads. There have been a lot of threats of violence against Caitlin Clark in the name of Tiffany Hayes. Like, that is something that is obvious. There have been threats of violence. Like, everybody knows that there have been threats of violence. Like, we've talked about that. And yes, they are crazy people on threads. I understand that. People can be, crazy on threads and do that. And this is the first thing. And you can look past this. So obviously, with the way the hours match up, the tweet that says 2 hours ago was posted hours before. So obviously, look, this was posted immediately after the game. This was posted a day later. So obviously, 2-3 hours don't match up. But I really need a coach to take one for the team, put their dev players to give Caitlin Clark taste of their own medicine. And they have to be white. Also, you have to basically coach needs to sign a dev player to injure Caitlin Clark. But there were loads of threats of violence against Caitlin, and Tip Hayes says, "Law, I fuck with y'all." When a whole bunch of people basically, and again, a whole bunch of people basically saying, "We'll fight her on your behalf. You should have fought her. I fuck with y'all." And then this is the worst part about it. So this one here, someone saying, "I was ready to support your crash out. That's fair." And again, by crash out, the two of them getting into it was not considered a crash out. So what was the extended step of that? We all know we can put 2 and 2 together, but you're not going to suspend someone for this. But we can put 2 and 2 together and say that the step forward for Tiffany Hayes is to go at Caitlin Clark, is to start a brawl. And she didn't. She just shit talked for the entire game. And it is what it is. The game is over. The game should be over. This is the next day. I was ready to support your crash out, capital. Basically, someone saying I was ready to support you punching her. But this is not what they said. This is what I'm taking from it. It might be different. So you're not suspending her for this, but this is a bad look. This is just a bad look. Lol, that's fair. Your composure was so much better than mine would have been. My growth is a gift, but a curse, but mostly a gift. We were ready to take up collections. They try to find you and everything. My peeps. She shouldn't be fined. She should be suspended. This is what should suspend her. Listen, I got some cousins we don't speak about that will riot at dawn upon request. Just let me know. This is a fucking threat at Caitlin Clark. That's real. This is a literal, obviously, they might be joking. I don't know who this person is. Tiffany Hayes doesn't know who this person is. If someone is even joking about threatening to get people that they don't speak about to pull up on another human being and you laugh about it and say that's real, that is laughing. That is responding with that's real to a threat. That is, if this person, you hope there's a 90% chance that this person's taking the piss. There is a 90% chance. But if there is on the 10% chance, there's on the even fraction of a percentage chance that this person's legit, and Tiffany Hayes has essentially said, yeah, go for it. Nobody knows. This is a random fan account. This could be literally anybody. This is fucking inciting violence against another player. And again, I don't think Tiffany Hayes wants violence against Caitlin Clark. I don't think she does. I don't think that the person is being serious in the message. It doesn't matter on the slight chance they are being serious. I'm sorry, there are enough unhinged people in the world. That there's always a fraction of a percentage chance that you are speaking online to a fucking crazy person, and that crazy person is not joking about sending people out to hurt another player. There's always a chance of that. Is it going to take a Monica Seles situation before the WNBA steps in? She needs to be suspended right now. And again, not something that affects the season, because this is something where I can guarantee you Tip Hayes just does not mean any harm to Caitlin Clark. The problem is, all it takes is one crazy person to think that she does and think they're doing something great, because in the world, it's now this thing where being anti-Caitlin Clark is some sort of weird allyship, and we know how many crazy extremists there are on both sides everywhere, especially in the United States. And I'm sorry. I am sorry. There needs to be a whole thing. This needs to be a blown up situation, because what happens when something goes wrong? It's not an if. It might not be this year. It might not be down the line. As time goes on, people are getting more and more crazy. Social media is emboldening more and more people. What happens when the wrong person jokes about violence, or when you egg on the wrong person to do something? What happens? Why, instead of putting a stop to this now, suspending her so that players know you can't do this shit? You cannot do this shit. Suspending her, and yes, being like, players need, they should be allowed to say what they want on social media. Yes, not without consequences. I'm sorry. This needs to be stopped now, because I don't think anything's going to happen right now. I don't think anything's going to happen out of this in general. But again, let's not fucking forget, Caitlin Clark has had a stalker. She has had a stalker from social media who has been arrested, who has followed her. You don't know who you're speaking to online. You don't. Nobody does. Nobody actually does. She responded to that's real with, again, I don't know how credible the threat of violence is. I don't know if it's a joke. That should not matter. Just because this is a threat of violence against Caitlin Clark, people don't care. Just like, again, let's never forget the actual WNBA media responded and said, blamed Caitlin Clark for not speaking up about her stalker who had to be arrested, and said that she should be speaking out to the media about her stalker. Tip Hayes needs to be suspended to set a precedent that you cannot even joke about. You cannot even joke with fans about hurting another player. In any other sport, this wouldn't fly. If an NBA player, I'm sorry, if an NBA player joked, let's just say, hypothetically, Ja Morant. Because, again, we all know with the reputation, he's borderline like Raheem Sterling in the English media reputation. We all know that. Could you imagine if Ja Morant got into a beef with, Dylan Brooks left his team. Let's just say him and Dylan Brooks got into it in a game. This is a hypothetical. Could you imagine if Ja Morant and Dylan Brooks were getting into it in a game, and a fan commented and saying that they have some cousins and they could pull up on Dylan Brooks, and Ja responded with that's real? Ja Morant wouldn't play the rest of the season. He actually wouldn't. If he did that based on his reputation, he wouldn't play the rest of the season. And I'm not saying do that to Tip Hayes, because there's no reputation of all baggage that comes to Tiffany Hayes as far as I'm aware. But you got to set a precedent that you can't do this. One game. Fuck it. You don't even have to suspend her against the Fever. Suspend her the next game if you don't want to make it look bad. But I'm sorry. You kind of especially almost have to do it against the Fever. Maybe you don't, because if they suspend her, it could embolden a crazy person who thinks the league is against her even do something more. That's the biggest problem. If you are the Golden State Valkyries after this, if you're and to be fair, Golden State is Golden State. There's always this. I'm never going to question this freaking security there. But there probably will be heightened security after this situation, because let's be completely real. In all these arenas, they're taking every one of these seriously. They're taking these threats both seriously, and the league just probably won't. Tip Hayes needs to be suspended for however long. And I'm sorry, a precedent has to be set that you cannot joke about somebody. You cannot even joke about it. But if both people in that thread were being serious, which we hope it's not. But let's just say Tip Hayes is 100% serious. Or even Tip Hayes doesn't even have to be serious. If the person who posted was 100% serious, Tip Hayes on Threads is essentially given the go-ahead for someone to go after Caitlin Clark. Send people after Caitlin Clark. Are we fucking kidding? If it was anybody, and if the WNBA does not suspend Tip Hayes, fine, no, fuck the fine. Suspend her for 1 game, at least 1 game. They don't give a shit about Caitlin Clark's safety, and to be honest, I don't think they give a shit about Caitlin Clark's safety anyway. They've already got their money. People are like, oh, they've already got their money. They've already got the TV deal. They've already boosted it up. Caitlin Clark's gone. Their money doesn't change. Fuck it.